The Chevy Corvette has one of the most fascinating and evolving legacies in automotive history. From the sleek, narrow-bodied C1 to the powerful mid-engine Z06 hitting 8,000 RPM, the Corvette has undergone countless transformations over the past 70 years. But within this rich history, there's one model that stands out, one that captures the imagination of car enthusiasts and collectors alike. This is the Corvette that makes $200,000 Restomod owners envious, and it was one of the fastest production cars of its era. Welcome to the story of the iconic 1967 L88 Corvette, the C2 Corvette. To fully appreciate the 1967 L88, we need to start with the Corvette it was based on, the C2 generation. Built from 1963 to 1967, the C2 was a radical leap forward. Designed from the ground up to house a V8 engine, it boasted a low, wide stance and a shark-like appearance, particularly when its bumpers were removed. This generation was the first to feature independent rear suspension, offering exceptional handling that set it apart from its muscle car rivals. Unlike other cars of the era, the C2 Corvette was a true sports car. The early C2 models were equipped with Chevrolet's 327 cubic inch small block V8, delivering a respectable 360 horsepower in its top configuration. But as the C2 continued to evolve, so did the powertrains. Chevrolet introduced big block engines like the 396 and 427, pushing the horsepower figures into the 420 to 430 range. These big block models were fast, reaching impressive 12-second quarter-mile times. The monster in the making. While the 427-powered C2 Corvettes were already formidable, the L88 took everything to a whole new level. Officially rated at 430 horsepower, the L88's true power output was actually closer to a staggering 560 horsepower. GM intentionally underreported the L88's capabilities, fearing that a true representation of its power would scare off casual buyers. The L88 was not your average Corvette. It was a track-focused monster built for those who knew what they were getting into. The L88 package featured a high-compression 427 big block V8 with a 12.5 to 1 compression ratio. It also included forged pistons, rods, and hardened push rods for durability, an 850 CFM carburetor for maximum airflow, and aluminum heads. The L88's high-lift camshaft and need for 103-octane fuel made it nearly undrivable on the streets, a feature that further separated it from ordinary cars. It was raw, powerful, and built for one thing: speed. Built for performance, not comfort. The L88 wasn't just about raw power, it was a machine designed exclusively for performance. To keep weight to a minimum, it was stripped of many comfort features that were standard on other Corvettes. Forget about air conditioning, a radio, or even a heater. These cars were built for one purpose only: to perform at the track. The L88 Corvettes were equipped with the famous M22 Rock Crusher 4-speed transmission, known for its straight-cut gears and race car-like whine. Power was delivered to the rear wheels through a Passat traction rear end with a drag-focused 4.56 rear gear ratio. Every aspect of the L88 was tuned for racing and speed, ensuring that it was not just another high-performance car, but a serious track contender. The rare and legendary L88 Chevrolet produced the L88 Corvette from 1967 to 1969, but with only 216 units ever made, it is one of the rarest and most valuable Corvettes of all time. Of these, only 20 were built in 1967, making the C2 L88 one of the most sought-after versions. Today, fewer than 10 of these 1967 models are believed to still exist, making them a rare gem in the world of automotive collectors. Despite its limited production, the L88 was far from a commercial success. Its high price, over $6,000 compared to the base Corvette's $4,000, combined with its track-focused design, made it a car for serious enthusiasts only. It wasn't exactly street-friendly, and the vast majority of buyers chose the less extreme 427 models. But for those who understood its true potential, the L88 was a dream come true. The L88. Legacy dominating the track. The impact of the L88 Corvette cannot be understated. Though only a handful were ever made, The legacy of the L88 lived on in later generations, particularly in the C3 models. These cars became staples in prestigious racing events, including Le Mans, where they cemented their place in motorsport history. Today, the 1967 L88, especially the C2 models, stands as one of the most valuable and iconic American cars ever made.